Good morning. This is Dr. McDaniel. I'm a board certified obstetrician gynecologist in New York City, and I'm bringing to you all things health related for women. Thank you for joining me at the corner today. And today I thought I'd speak about body hair growth, the difference between hypertrichosis and the polycystic ovarian syndrome, and why body hair in general is different from what we call secondary sexual characteristic hair. So I guess this was kind of instigated by a patient who came in. She was concerned that her daughter, her 16-year-old, was complaining of chest hair, and she didn't know what was going on and why her daughter was having the chest hair, and if it was a medical condition that should be evaluated or not. So in general, body hair is genetic. So when we speak of body hair, I'm speaking about hair that develops before puberty. So hair on the head, arms, legs, and back for the most part. So generalized body hair, so hair that children have until they go through puberty. So that's genetic in nature. And I think most people know that even certain ethnicities or certain areas of the world have more or less body hair. In general, Native Americans and Asians generally have less body hair and more sparse, thinner body hair. And Mediterraneans and North Africans have more body hair, so more folds, so more dense accumulation of hair, and arms and legs are much hairier in Mediterranean and North African people than in Native American and Asian people in general. And then you have all of the variations in between. Now, in each kind of ethnic group, you can have variations in that ethnic group, which are going to be genetic. So even if someone's Native American or they're Chinese, if they happen to have parents who have a lot of body hair, then they're going to have relatively a lot of body hair, but it may be relatively less body hair than someone from Greece or Italy or Morocco. So that's inherited. And the body hair that one develops after puberty is what we call secondary sex characteristic hair, because it's due to stimulation from sex hormones being testosterone and or estrogen. Now, everyone has both testosterone and estrogen. Men have testosterone and estrogen. Women have testosterone and estrogen. The levels, the concentrations vary. And it's the effect of testosterone on our skin that activates secondary sex characteristic. It's the hair growth. And it's the effect of estrogen that retards it or limits it or decreases that hair growth. So in general, that's why we see young boys develop beards, mustaches, and chest hair when they go through puberty, and young girls in general don't. Now, as a young girl, you can have what we call peach fuzz, so the little upper lip fuzz. I used to have it when I was little, get the nair out, nair and beat, and cream it off. And my young daughters have a little bit of peach fuzz also. They cream it off, especially the fairer your skin is, the more you're going to see it. So my daughters, their skin is fairer than mine, so it's more obvious on their upper lip when they have that little bit of peach fuzz and they want to take it off. So that's not due to testosterone into puberty. That peach fuzz, what we call kind of vellus hair growth, is just genetic. So mommy had upper lip hair, so you're going to have the upper lip hair. When it becomes coarse and thick, and what I call the Fred Flintstone look, so the after five shadow, that's secondary sex characteristic hair, because that vellus or peach fuzz hair on the young boy has now turned into coarse, thick mustache, or beard. So it's the effects and the interplay and the balance of testosterone and of estrogen. Now, I think most women will notice that as they go through puberty or they get into their 20s, they'll have a little bit of chest hair. And that's fairly common. It's considered normal. We all have testosterone. So a few sprigs around the nipples or one or two sprigs in between the chest. Of course, technically that's a male pattern hair growth, but realistically, everyone has testosterone, and the level of estrogen present to impede or reduce the effects of the testosterone may vary. So you'll see some chest hair on women, and you'll see a couple of strands of chin hair also for women. That's normal. The thicker it becomes and the more dense and concentrated it becomes abnormal, because the average woman should have enough estrogen being produced in her body to counteract the effects of the testosterone being produced, and or should have a low enough level of testosterone being produced that it's not overwhelming the effects of estrogen. So what estrogen does is estrogen increases the production of a protein which soaks up or binds the free amount of circulating testosterone that affects the face and other areas where we see male pattern hair growth and male pattern hair loss. So I'm going to conclude this session. I'm trying to keep these shorter. I know people prefer, I've gotten feedback that people prefer shorter presentations. So I'm going to conclude this here with a couple more sentences. I'm going to say that in general, the difference between hair, so if someone's complaining about they have lots of arm hair and lots of body hair, why are they so hairy like a man? That's not hairy like a man. That's hairy like your mothers and forefathers. So that's ancestral, genetic, and it's ethnic in nature. Body hair that gets coarse and dark and thick and occurs after puberty due to the resurgence of those pubertal hormones is in some ways genetic as far as the distribution goes, but it's due to hormones. So that's why we call it secondary sex characteristic hair growth. I'm going to end with that today, and I'm going to pick up with the next presentation about how our hormones interplay to cause that hair growth, and also for some people, hair loss. Thank you for joining me at the corner today. Please make sure you hit the like, subscribe, follow buttons if you enjoy the content. Make sure you check out not just the Facebook page, but also the YouTube channel. I have over 200 presentations on my YouTube channel and the podcast. I'm on all of the platforms for the podcast, so that's easily available, and Apple, all of the usual haunts for podcasts. I can't think of them all right now, but make sure you check out the YouTube podcast, the Facebook, hit the like, subscribe, follow buttons. Make sure you leave a comment. If you have a question, a concern, or you have an idea for additional topics, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy, as long as it affects the women and our health, I'll be more than happy to address it. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.